Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk to you about homeschooling during this coronavirus lockdown that we're all in. The schools are out. What do you do with the kids for the next 3 months? That's the question. A lot of us are worried about that, but we don't need to be. And really, that's what I want to talk to you about today. We are a homeschooling family. We have done both. We've got children at school and children at home. At the moment, we have one child in school, so he's now back home with us, but he was homeschooled for a while, and all of the rest of the kids have gone off and gone to university and college and things like that and into the workforce, but they were all homeschooled as well. And I wanted to just really talk to you and define and take some of the panic and some of the fear out of that dreaded term homeschooling. It's not as bad as you think, a lot counts as school. That's kind of what I want to talk to you about today is schooling at home does not have to imitate schooling at school. You can do that, and a lot of schools are making online access to certain curriculum that they would have been doing at school available to children while they're at home. But what we do with our children, we're not teachers, so what we do with our children doesn't have to be as scary and doesn't have to be as strict as that. I don't know about you, but everything's changed anyway since I was at school. Some of the things that they talk about in English, what integers and participle subject, I can't remember even what they are. And so how can I teach that to my child? That is for the teachers to teach. What we can do is take our children and give them some different skills that the schools may not major on. So things like reading aloud. Reading aloud is a lost art in this country. It is so good for language. So good. We have an 11-week-old baby. We read to her every day. We have all different kind of books. We were reading to her while I was pregnant with her. She recognises some of the books some of the rhythms of speech, should I say. But that's how kids learn. Kids learn vocabulary. Well-read children have a very good grasp of the English language. It's as simple as that. So we don't need to necessarily teach them the names of the adjectives and how the construction of the English language. We can just teach them the English language by reading to them aloud. It's something that you can do at any time during the day. A great tip is to do it while they're busy doing something else. So if you've got them painting or doing some crafting or something like that, or even just while you're eating dinner. Simple as that. Mine's busy doing something else, they can listen. Don't know about you, but I find it hard to listen to audiobooks sometimes because my mind drifts off onto the 20 other things I should be doing. But reading aloud, reading different things, reading comic books. It doesn't have to be a long novel or anything like that. It can be. But children's books, you can read comic books, you can read science books, you can read factual books, you can show them picture books. And one of the best things is to describe the picture, especially if you've got younger children. Sit with them and describe, there's a river in that picture. I wonder where that river goes. Imaginative, getting them to use their imagination is so important. So then you could lead that on to something like Lego. Lego is an amazing tool, parenting tool. It's also a parenting nightmare when you stand on it, when you're not expecting it. But as a tool for teaching, it's incredible. A lot of engineers played with Lego when they were children. Oh, it's incredible. My children played with it until they were still now. If you've got a box of Lego out, my 18-year-old boy would play with it because he loves Lego. So on the internet, you can print out, if you've got a printer and a computer at home, you can print out templates of shapes and things that you can get your child then to copy. If they're tiny, they've got really simple ones and all the way up to quite complex ones. I'll link some of the things down below, some of the resources down below. That's amazing. Get your child to make different vehicles, get your child to make different animals. There's some amazing stuff, and just with a generic box of Lego, it doesn't have to be a certain set, or I know you can get like Spider-Man and all that kind of sort of sets. Doesn't have to be that's a specific set. Just get a generic box of Lego and you can have hours of fun. Just make sure to clean it up afterwards, because your feet will thank me. What else is there? You could get your child to bake. Baking is a huge educational tool. Get them to double a recipe, 2.5 times a recipe. Get them with the scales where you can tare them, T-A-R-E, and you can put the bowl on top of the scales, and you can add your 200 grams of flour, whatever it is, and then you can then add to it, and you have to get them to figure out what number it needs to be at if you're adding another 100 grams of something. Right, okay, so we're adding then some other ingredients from this side, so then how much more do we need to add it up to get to the right amount? It's amazing. It's also science, because if you get it wrong, that science experiment goes wild. That's a good fun thing to do. It's not always about eating what you make. That's obviously a nice benefit of baking, but you don't always have to. You can ruin it on purpose to teach them that science is an experiment. So you can say, what happens if we put double the salt in it? What happens if we don't put enough flour and we put more oil in it? What happens if we don't put any sugar in it and we put sweetener in it instead? You know, what happens if we swap out the sweetener for honey? All of these things you can experiment with and teach them that different things happen when you change an element of it. That's science in a nutshell. That's exactly what science is. Experiments is so rewarding to see your child, the light go on and go, that's different because we did something different. It's amazing. It doesn't have to be difficult. Of course, you can teach them, if you've got older children, a really, really beneficial thing to do is get out in your garden and measure up your garden and see, for example, if you wanted to re-turf the garden, how would you work out the area? If you wanted to tile your bathroom wall or your kitchen wall, how would you work out how many tiles you need? These are life skills. Now, I know that, that's boring, but these are life skills. Right, let's have a look and see. Right, so we've got a big square there. We've got a big rectangle there. Let's measure them. How do we work out the area? How do we figure out how much we will need to spend? How many tiles are in a box? How many boxes do we need? How much is a box? Then add them all together. These are life skills that are to do with maths and area, but that you will use in your everyday life. You can teach your child everyday skills. And I know it sounds really stupid, but if you take your kids, right, let's teach you how to put clothes in a washing machine. Let's teach you how to put a duvet on a bed. Let's teach you. Now, I'm not saying that you get your children as slaves for you. I'm saying that you make it fun and you make it interesting. Come with, especially when you've got sort of 5-6 year olds, come with me, we're going to put this in, let me show you. Come with me, we're going to make the bed. You put the pillows on, I'll put the duvet on if you've got little ones. How about we, go and clean something? That's a lovely way of getting your children involved and teaching them life skills. Life skills. How about you talk to your children about this coronavirus? How about we talk about how we can be polite and nice to other people by not panic buying? Use what's going on in the world at the moment to teach your children character. That's one of the biggest things you can do for your child in this time. The schools will take care of the facts and the exams and teaching to an exam. The schools will take care of that when they go back. Now's the time you get to input to your child and say to your children, we need to care about the people around us. How can we do that? We can do that by washing our hands. We can do that by not visiting elderly relatives. We can do that by being kind and leaving things on the shelves for people who need it. We get to be a model in this time and teach our children the things they don't learn at school. That is one of the beauties of homeschooling. It is about teaching character as well as a classical education, if you like. And to be honest, teaching character will get you through the rest of your life. Teaching children how to learn, how to behave, how to respect people, how to behave in a functioning society, as a functioning member of society, should I say. It's priceless, and we get to do that right now. Right now, we get to make good out of a really bad situation. So homeschooling isn't defined as mimicking school at home. It is just creating an environment for your child to grow and to learn, and that looks different for every child, every family. But it's time together. It's time talking. It's time cooking and laughing and making memories and sitting and watching movies if you want. That's educational. That's educating the children that we take time out to relax as a family. It's about just being together and getting through. That is an education within itself. Don't put so much pressure on yourself that it makes a bad time worse by feeling stressed and not being pleasant to be around. I'm not pleasant to be around when I'm stressed out about things. Let's take some of the fear out of homeschooling, because we've got enough that can be worrying and stressing us out at this moment. Stay tuned. In the next video, I'm going to give you some tips on how you can maybe schedule a week so that you have something to do every day around one topic. Pick a topic, I'll show you how to do it, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.